Hi there, welcome to Moon Eye Sweden Garage. My name is Håkan Johansson and today I'm going to show you something that I think is really cool. And I'm sure that a lot of other people out there that thinks the same thing. If you like early V8 Fords, you're going to really dig this. I just got in a 1932 Ford Victoria that hasn't run and been driven for way over 50 years. And we're going to take a look at it because I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So come along and we'll take a look at this cool car. Yep, so there it is, 1932 Ford Victoria that's been parked for, well, somewhere around the range of 50, 60 years. I love 32 Victorias. They're not super rare, but, well, what was it? I read something 7,200 cars, something like that, built out of 210,000 cars produced in 1932. So, well, it's not very common, but I just love a Victoria. The story on this actual car is that it came from Norway to Sweden in the 70s sometime. Don't know the full history in Norway. You supposedly used for graduation drive, whatever. A guy bought it in southern parts of Sweden in the 70s, imported it, put it in his barn, and just left it sitting basically. That guy unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and a friend of mine, without me knowing it, picked up this car and dragged it home to about 2 hours south of here, to Örebro. And he had it sitting for a while until another friend of mine went there to buy some parts, found out he had a Victoria, and he sort of mentioned that he could consider selling it. So my friend told me that, hey, there's a 32 Victoria in Örebro and the guy could consider selling it. I just sold my 57 Chevy, so what do? If you're in love with 32 Victorias, you go buy it, of course. So dark, full evening, not much light, who cares? It's there, let's go get it. So we dragged it home a couple of weeks ago, put it in my barn, and now we just dragged it over here. And I honestly haven't really had a chance to take a close look at it. So why don't we do that and see what we got? 32 Ford Victoria. I just love these rear ends. I just think it's beautiful design. Don't you agree? Gorgeous car. One thing I noticed pretty much right away I saw the car is that the rear wheels are sitting pretty far out in the rear fenders. So I'm suspecting it's got a later model rear end, like a 46, 48 Ford rear end or something like that. But we're going to put it up on the lift here shortly and take a closer look at that. Otherwise, fenders and everything are really pretty good condition. I'd say pretty damn good actually. Running boards, okay, not bad at all. Door gaps. Doing a lot of body work, you always look at door gaps. And another thing I always look at, or listen to I should say, is this. When you open a door in an old car and you close it again, that's the way it should sound, and it should fit, right? That means the body is in pretty good condition. If it's rotted away at the bottom, all the frame rails are gone, the doors are not going to open and shut that nicely. Front fenders are nice. Here's some sort of damage or repair or whatever. Yeah, there's a piece of round tubing welded to the back of the fender, fender edge here, but not too bad. This could be straightened out. Fenders are in really good condition. Spreader bar is missing in the front, so it's a splash apron, but no big deal. Grill shell, nice, and the grille is really nice. Lid's missing for the radiator, no big deal. Headlights are okay. It's got a dent in one of the headlights there, but they're stainless, so that could be straightened out and polished. Yeah, not too shabby. This fender is better than the other one. It's actually not bad at all. Under the hood it's empty. I knew that when I bought the car. It's got no engine and trans. Yes, the car is right-hand drive, and I don't know if old Norwegian cars were like that or whatever. If someone knows, please inform me. Could be maybe the car came from England, who knows. I could look at the wiring, and it's not all original, obviously. There's a coil over there that makes me suspect something else than original has been in here. It's got a V8 radiator, so well, it's probably had a V8 in it at some point. Cowl lights are a little bit bigger than original. That's... something's been done there. Chrome cowl vent. How about that, huh? This decal's pretty cool. This is an old 70s decal from Swedish Street Road Association. Designed by a guy that's no longer with us, unfortunately. But it's really cool, huh? Street is neat. Of course it is. And inside the car is the complete interior, supposedly. That was reupholstered in the 70s. I've had a little look here, and I'm starting to suspect that, well, it's not original, and I doubt that it's the same style that anyone wants in a car today. But that's going to be really interesting to get it out of the car and see what it is, really. Yep, right-hand drive, like I said. It's got some extra gauges in here. Looks like, I'm guessing, some sort of British sports car thing. The rest sort of looks like a mismatch of aftermarket and 32. And yep, the dash has been covered in vinyl. Yep, black vinyl. They wrapped it in black vinyl. Here's some extra switches, probably turn signal, whatever. Not much working anymore, obviously, but oh well, it's there. Top's not bad. Not bad at all. Rain gutters, nice. The body's actually in really good condition. We're going to take the interior out, like I said, and vacuum the floors and check that out and see you. Got something going on down here. A little bit of swelling, but you know, no big deal. It's not come loose. It's still there. Back fenders, really nice. Like I said, look at the wheel. That's not original width. It's probably got, like I said, a 46, 48 Ford rear end or something. Here's the typical little, yep, something's been done to the fender lip here too. No big deal. Can be fixed. And the back edge here, there's a bolt. Oh yeah, they had mud flaps on it. Mud flaps still on this side. Hey, check that out. Ford mud flaps, of course you do. You just bolted to the fender. Spreader bar's missing, no big deal. Gas cap's locking, can't get it open. I think I'm gonna probably try to drill that out because I want to see what the gas tank looks like inside. If we can use it or not. I mean, usually gas tanks can rot out pretty bad, and that's, well, in worst case I have to buy an aftermarket, but it'd be really cool if I can keep it, obviously. Here's an old sticker with the line over it. I can tell that's probably Norwegian, but I don't know what else it is. But who cares? Cracked old window can be repaired. Otherwise, like I said, it's all pretty darn straight. Looking alongside of it, well, can't ask much more for a car that's this old, right? I mean, look at that. That door. I mean, seriously? Wow, that fits really nice. I wonder if this old paint can be polished and, well, maybe I'll get the polisher out and see if I can clean it up and what it looks like. I honestly don't know what to do with this car yet. Get it running and driving the way it is. Obviously very tempting. Obviously, I'm not going to keep it right-hand drive because we do drive on the right hand and sit on the left here in Sweden. So that's going to change. But like I said, why don't we start with taking that interior out and unwrapping it? It's been in wrapping since the 70s. So why don't we take it out and see what it's like? Maybe it's really cool. Maybe we can use it. Who knows? Okay, well, we got an interior. Interesting design, I should say. The whole interior seems to be wrapped in the same material. This seems to be the bottom for the front seat. Yeah, it's got to be, although it's okay. Wood at the bottom. There we go. Yeah, everything is wrapped in this lovely material. Like I said, this was done in the 70s sometimes. Don't know if the plan was to sell it to a whorehouse owner on the red light district or whatever it is, but rather interesting. Another thing I've come to a conclusion right away is I don't think this is the interior for this car. That's not a 32 front seat. I suspect these are the backs for the front seat, and it's looking in my eyes like it's a 39 Ford or something like that, 38 maybe, something around there. Those front seats look like this, but they had a base something. Anyways, and the back seat looks way too wide to fit in the back of my Vicky. So there we go. The interior is not for this car. I think the brothel owner can come pick it up. What do you think? Just awesome. So if anyone wants an interior and, well, like it, then here it is. Yep, that's what this lovely interior looks like up close. Jealous? That's what I thought. It's here, come get it. You know, if you want your car looking like a whorehouse. Awesome. Well, let's take a look inside the car. Oh, the inside door panel, black vinyl with buttons, black, but the other side is white or gray. Interesting. Maybe the husband and wife couldn't agree on what color they should upholster the car in. Well. I'm starting to realize that this car has been sort of hot rodded at some point. These look to me like 4951 Ford, or I don't know, maybe 48, somewhere thereabouts. They're not 32s anyway. Handles, same on the other side. The car, like I said earlier, it's right-hand drive. The dash is full of, well, full, but it's got some extra gauges here. Temp, clock. We got another temp. We got what is that? That's a very good question. It's a Smith gauge anyway, some kind of pressure. Ford Speedo with kilometers, I'm thinking. Starting to think this car was probably new sold in Norway then. Probably not in England. Tack and amp gauge over there, and some switches. And like I said, the whole dash panel is wrapped in black vinyl. That was pretty common in the 70s, wasn't it? The whole rack for the gauge panel is obviously still there, like the 32 should. Blinkers. It's got an aftermarket shifter in it, but it does have the struts for the flathead V8. You know, the struts that hold the engine in place. So I'm starting to think this must have had a flathead V8 in it. It does have hydraulic brakes. There's the master cylinder crafted into the frame. Another thing that's been crafted in is this handy little battery tray that's welded to the frame and to the body. So of course you do that. E-brake handle. Not really 32 style, but whatever. Aftermarket stuff is cool too. The floor is really nice. I mean, oh, there you go. Someone's been crafty to put rear shocks on the car and just gas torch the inner fender out. And what's this? Oh, they fiberglassed something in here. So maybe they wrapped it in fiberglass or something and bolted it straight to the frame. Like I said, floor is really nice all the way back. And obviously another nice setup for a shock on that side. Well, the window cranks are still here, inner window frames, headliner. Oops, someone moved in. Anyone home? Hope not. Yeah, so there it is. It's pretty nice condition. That can be easily fixed. And we're going to lift it up and see what it looks like underneath. It's, like I said, it's obviously got some kind of other rear end than original. But I'm really happy the floors are this nice. And it's cool to have all this modifications been done to it. It'd be nice to know the history on the car. What it looked like. Okay, we got it on the hoist. Take a closer look underneath and stuff here. Oh, nice. It's got the heavy duty truck axle. I knew that. That's pretty cool. The brakes are looking pretty funny to me. You can tell it's got a hydraulic line going into the back here that comes in at like 3 o'clock on the backing plate, but I don't know what kind of brakes those are. It kind of looking like some sort of, they converted original mechanical brakes to hydraulic. But I'm going to take one of the wheels off and drum off and see if I can, what it looks like behind there. Otherwise everything looks really nice. Frame straight, nice looking. Can't see any major damage. The grill shell's got some damage, but that's no big deal. Easier to straighten out with a hammer and dolly. Yep, looking nice. I'm going to take a look at the back too. Body looks nice. I'm going to try to polish this and see what it looks like, if I can get some shine into this old paint. It's got some surface rust at the bottom, but no big deal. Hasn't swelled up or anything. It's got a little crack here, but no big deal. It's an old car, for God's sake. Oh, here we go. Here's the Engineering Deluxe shock mount. Yay. Everything else looks really nice. Underneath the fenders. Not too shabby. Nice mud flap. And just like I suspected, it's got later model rear end, looking like 40 brakes. And, well, another piece of engineering deluxe with the bottom shock mount, don't you think? It looks like they've welded on a piece of flat bar right on top of the wishbone. And then some nuts and bolts, and just get the shock on there, buddy. Let's get her going. Well, there was plenty of room. This looks pretty funny. Look, it's been dragging on the ground and even rubbed a hole in the backing plate. Ha, that's interesting. Wonder what did that. I mean, if it lost the wheel, it would, I don't know. Strange. Like I said, later model rear end. It's a little bit wider than the 32. Frame looks really nice. The floors are looking nice. Obviously, just like on the inside. Everything is there. Bottom of the gas tank doesn't look too bad, but we're gonna try to get the lid off and see what it looks like inside. Maybe get a flashlight in there and see if there's any. Maybe we can find some turpentine. What do you think? Hydraulic brakes. Nice. Just to prove to you that this car is really Norwegian/Swedish, the tires are obviously called Viking Extra with a K. Cool, huh? Well, I'm not the type to give up, so eventually I got the brake drum off, of course, and I just love this backyard engineering at its best. Look at this. They've cut out the backing plate and welded on this piece here. This piece has been welded on to adapt for the brake cylinder. And same thing on the other side, cut out. And check this out. They've actually welded on pieces of flat steel on the brake shoes and got it all working, right? I mean, the guy that did this, he was not a stupid one. Might not have a, you know, flashy business card with a three-letter combination of CEO or PT or whatever, you know, everybody has these days. But this guy was no dummy. He could design his own brakes and get them working. Gotta love it. Well, a little brute force and ignorance, and we're in, so to speak. Let me see if I can show you. This gas tank does not look all bad inside. It smells like turpentine, obviously, and there's some sludge in there, but I think it's looking pretty good. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to clean this one out and use it. It's always nice to be able to use the original gas tank on the car and not have to replace it with an aftermarket one. Don't you think? Pretty cool. That's good news. Nice. Then there was this thing with the paint. I mean, obviously I'm curious to see if I can clean it up, you know? It looks like the car is, it's either full of small little nicks in the paint, or it's dirt, or something's on it, you know? I'm gonna get my buffer out and then just go over the door and see what happens, you know. Though I have to admit there's a danger of doing that, because before you know it, daylight's breaking and you've been at it all night. But whatever, I'm gonna give it a shot and then see what happens to this old paint, right? Well, a few minutes with the buffer and things come back to life, so to speak. But I mean, the car, it's really full of dings and little marks everywhere. I don't know what they've done to this car, but anyways, it's just the paint. So obviously I'm tempted to keep this car in this condition, just getting running. But well, I'll see what I do. Pretty neat though to get this old paint job back up to shine, you know. This back corner doesn't come out bad at all, although there's some strange little marks here and there. Probably been stored and had shovels and shit, you know, leaned up against it. Fender's pretty dinged up, you know. Well, at least the paint is. It's not dinged on the metal, but the paint's pretty jacked up. But anyway, just thought I'd give it a shot. Okay, that's it for the Vicky for now. Gone through it, really pleased with what I've got. Took a little gamble, buy it in the dark, you know. Got to do it sometimes. This one I'm really pleased with, obviously. Unfortunately, this car is going to have to go back in my barn. I got too many other projects going on in the shop right now, so this one is going to have to go back in slumber in the barn for a little bit, but hopefully we'll get back to it soon. The other projects are also on this channel. Some are in English, so you're going to be able to follow them, and there's some really nice projects coming up, so don't forget to subscribe and follow those. You're going to find them interesting, I promise you. And meanwhile, I'm going to have to sleep on this one for a bit and decide which way I'm going to go. I'm kind of torn between building a nice show car or just get it driving the way it is, get it running and build a chassis, put an engine in it, maybe a different interior than what came with it, Hopefully the brothel owner will come and get it. Anyways, so I don't know. We'll see when we get to it. I'll decide. I've seen some really nice show cars. Brazils, for example, in California built a couple of really nice Vickies. Those are really get me going. But it's really tempting, to just get it going the way it is. So stay tuned and we'll find out, simply. So until then, check out our other projects and don't forget to subscribe. See you later.